Good morning, everyone. It is Wednesday, July 20th, hump day. Woo, woo. We've made it halfway through the week here. Last night we had Netflix reporting. Today we have Tesla. Full earnings season is here, adding a whole other layer of, I want to say, I guess, uncertainty or maybe volatility, as we decide what we want to take overnight. Yesterday we had a really good session, but it felt a little weird. Here's what it looked like, and you can see big open. It wasn't an engulfing candle because we had a higher low and now we've had a higher high. This is the futures chart, and we closed over the 50, and it'll look the same thing on the SPY chart here. There you go. We were able to get through that 34 EMA, which you can see we have been below here for quite some time. It was back in early June, the last time that we sliced around there, but the 34 has been kind of a good barometer. So we'll see if we can actually get away from it this time. You see here, we were up, down, like a teeter-totter. So we're hoping to use it and maybe use it as support for a move on. This morning we're coming in a little red, and I'll talk about that in just a minute. Nonetheless, we had a nice push through this trend line. We had a close over the 50, and you can see we have a gap up here. We also have one right back here, right? So this is from over the weekend. This one being so close, I would be a little bit more concerned that maybe we'll go back and fill it a little bit sooner. And then, of course, we have these gaps below. Most gaps will be filled at some point. Doesn't mean it's going to happen right away, but at some point they will be filled. Okay, want to talk about yesterday. It was, like I said, big day, but it felt a little weird. At least if you watch the tick and the VIX, which are two things that we watch during the day, we were in a very tight range. It was like a 60-some cent range. We didn't put in a new high until way over here as we entered as we got close to the last hour of the day. It was at 2:30 that we finally made it into that, putting up a new high. But this tight range, we just sat here, I'm sorry, it was weird. Felt very weird, and waiting for a break. And when I talked about when we made a break that I thought it would be fairly violent, we crept up a little bit, plunged down, and came right back. This isn't the move I was talking about. I feel like there is a bigger move coming, and maybe it's just all of the earnings. I think there's a lot of uncertainty as we look into earnings and what is expected, but this is what the SPY did. Look at this, just climbed, took a little break, climbed a little bit more, really tired, up the hill, and then consolidated here right into the close. So overall, a really decent day. This morning, you'll see that we are coming in, and we've rounded over. We hit a peak overnight. We had Netflix earnings, and they weren't as bad as expected. They were expecting around a 2 million subscriber loss, and it was only 970,000. Well, we look at that, and we're like, holy cow, that's a lot to lose. But when you have as many households, they lead the way. They are the barometer for streaming. So it's not I thought this was great. I was listening to the news this morning, and they talked someone who, he's, I guess, an expert, talking about that it's not that they have a subscriber issue. They have a monetization because they, although there are millions and millions and millions of people worldwide watching Netflix, there are also millions and millions that aren't paying for it because of sharing subscriptions. So trying to figure that out. Okay, anyway, all of that to come back here. And then this morning, we did see not peak inflation, but high inflation in Europe. They are at 9.1%. And then we also heard the European Commission come out and call for gas rationing. And that is to help build up as they then go into fall. I know it's the middle or the end of July here, still summer, but they're looking at fall, and they so relied on Russian energy and oil that they have got to store up. They have to plan. So we are seeing a step down in the futures chart here, but not a bad one. After the big move yesterday on decent volume, as long as we hold this 50 and maybe consolidate in here, I think that would be a nice look at it. Again, we have Tesla after the the close today. So we do have a lot of volatility. Remember, if something is reporting, other names can move with it. So like when Tesla reports, look, regardless of which way it goes, look at names that might move with it, like NIO, NIO, XBEV, XPEV, Rivian, RIVN, any of the other automakers, electric vehicle makers, and see if they are moving with it. You don't have to necessarily just play the name that that is reporting, but also good to know or be aware of, because when one reports, if the others move with it, it may not be the move you are looking for, and all of a sudden you're like, why is this name going down? Well, they move in sympathy. So if one chip reports, you know, a lot of times it affects the other chips, things like that. So be aware of it. Okay, all that being said, what are we watching today? Apple. Look at this in Apple. Apple came in this week, left no gaps in its chart here, which is nice. Wish the SPY would do the same. They often move together, you know, as goes Apple, so does SPY. But nice move here on Monday, gave it back and then some on Tuesday, but still held over the 8, came in roaring yesterday, good volume. Earnings next week, you know, next week I will be here to watch those earnings, the big earnings. After the bell, I always leave Benzinga on so we can hear them because it's just fun to watch. Anyway, Apple, really nice here. Inside candle yesterday, so we're looking for the break of the inside candle. I like the 155 calls. I'm taking these out to August, even though they report next week. I want an entry a little bit early. I would like to see that entry at 150-123. I'm going to stop it really quickly at 149.85. And we have this double top area that maybe if you're not used to looking backwards in your charts, right? So this is a double top that we hit a high on on Monday. No, yesterday. Tuesday. Yeah, sorry, Tuesday. I had to kind of think about where I was on my days here. On Monday, we hit that high, matching up here. So nice volume here. There's not a lot, or nice room here. Not a lot of volume. This is the volume profile. So you're in that alligator mouth. So nice room here to stretch all the way up there to 154.32, which is my first target. And then beyond that, I'm actually looking all the way up to that 200 moving average. That would be a ways up there. Not sure it'll make it before earnings, but definitely one to keep an eye on. All right, Walmart. Well, we all know that Nene loves to go to Walmart. So we started moving into this gap. I didn't have it moved in, but we came really close to filling this gap here. So we want to keep an eye on that gap fill. Walmart's done very well, of course, in tough times. Places like Walmart, your Dollar Generals, things like that, they are going to still typically do a bit better because we still have to get our groceries, our food, and we tend to shop at the more discount places. So that's what we're watching here in Walmart, looking for a gap fill. We had a beautiful inside candle here yesterday. Love that look as well. So, and we're consolidating here now 3 sessions over the 50 MA. So I like that a lot. I would like to take the Walmart 130 call. We don't have to worry about earnings quite yet. They'll be pushed out a little bit here. So taking the 819 Walmart 130 call. I like an entry right there around 129.56. I'm going to stop 128.60. These stops are a little bit tighter right now simply because of earnings. So there's extra volatility in the overall market. Targets 130.64, 133.89, and then all the way up to 137.44. Look at other names: Costco, Target. All of those charts look very similar here. All right. Lastly, mRNA. We saw that the FDA approved NVAX. The vaccine names have just, you know, kind of held in here. They had a nice bullish run, taking a nice little pause here. I like this. Looks like a bull flag getting ready to play out. It hasn't yet played out, but like the look in here. And like I said, consolidating right here along the 8 on some lower volume. So we're holding price action on lower volume. That is a bullish setup. We do have earnings coming up here right after the beginning of August. But looking for the MRNA 170 call. Now be careful, watch these and see if the bid and ask is too wide. If that bid and ask spread is wide, that means that they're not very liquid. Make sure you either get in on the bid or just bypass it. Look at other names like NVAX as well, BNTX, PFE, all of those. Take a look at them. Look for the one that is most liquid. But like I said, if this bid and ask is too wide, bypass it. It's not, it means it's just not liquid enough. Now there's plenty of open interest in these right now, so I'm happy about that, but we want to see the volume go along with that here today. So anyway, MRNA, take a look there. I like the look at 168, and I'm going to stop it there at 166.70, and looking, my first target will be 172.51. All right. Other names, like I said, Costco. Take a look at Boeing and the airlines. They are all doing well. Cruise lines have been doing well, so all those, some great day trade opportunities. The chips have done also very well. They have that Senate bill coming up. I thought it was going to come up yesterday, but apparently it did not. McDonald's, Chipotle, Starbucks. This was on yesterday's list. Look at that. Be a little careful. This is a little bit stretched here, so maybe not the best candidate for a swing trade, but we did put in a nice little double top here, so nice look there in Starbucks. Okay, if you have any questions, reach out. Heather C. at GivingTreeTrading.com. I hope you have a fabulous day.